Hello, welcome to Mall Talkers. I'm Michael Paskett, aka the Mall Guy, and this is a show where retail and mall pros come to talk some shop. In 30 minutes or less, I'm bringing you the conversations from the strategists, the operators, and innovators driving the evolution of malls today. You'll leave with tactics, stories, and trends shaping what malls were, where malls have been, and what they are becoming. So pull up a chair, grab a coffee, and let's talk malls. Today, my special guest, Anthony DiAmbrosio, manager of guest engagement at American Dream. We are going to be talking about why excitement and delighting the shoppers matter for repeat visits. Anthony, welcome.
Hey, hello, Michael. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Before we get into the fun stuff, I've just got to say, your shirt, killer. I want one.
It was very tough to decide which one I was going to choose today too, because I have quite a few here. Well, thank you. And it's funny you should say that because if you were here in the building, and I guess this still works, you're entitled to 2 free tickets now to Nickelodeon. I get so many compliments on these crazy shirts I wear here that the first guest of the day who compliments my shirt, I'll take out my kazoo, and they actually will win 2 free tickets to Nickelodeon. I keep a couple in my right in my area here, and if they actually get 2 free tickets they could use for the rest of the year. It's fun. It's definitely a memorable moment. And in a way, I feel like I reward them just for being nice and talking and interacting with us, which is really great.
Well, and sharing their thoughts. And I will say, I love your energy. You're probably coming for my mall talkers job, so I'm going to have to be careful within that. I will say, energy's unmatched. You as a human are just fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you've come from, why you're here?
Yeah, sure. It's funny you say that because I've always worked at wacky places. Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. I worked at Disney World for a short period of time. I was Eeyore in the Christmas parade. And, yeah. I've done some wacky stuff. One of my favorite jobs, I would say, on my resume is FAO Schwarz, which is a famous toy store in Manhattan. You might remember from the movie Big. Put it this way, if that store was still open, I'd still be there. That's how much I genuinely enjoyed it. But I was in charge of the product demonstrators, all the characters, the toy soldiers, and things like that. Anything that made the store more fun.
Yep.
I worked at for a short period of time at Macy's with Santa Claus, so I got to help manage the really amazing experience of meeting Santa at Macy's, and especially in New York City, which is like incredible. And then, of course, cut to here, amongst of other crazy things that I've done that are experience driven. I knew eventually I was going to work here at American Dream. I would drive back and forth into the city, and I would drive past this huge, enormous space that I used to think it was called Xanadu. And I used to tell my wife, I think I'm going to eventually work there. I have to tell you. And lo and behold, it was almost like the New York Disney World. And I just felt like I needed I felt this was the right place for me. So that's what drew me here.
You manifested it into reality. And I'll ask you then, so how much in the mall space do you think success comes from how you make people feel versus just like promotions and offerings?
It's a good question. I've had to choose like a percentage. I'd say like at least 80%. I think people genuinely now are coming out here for that. Otherwise, you kind of don't need to, and you're coming here for the experience. I'd say you can very easily go on your phone and order pretty much whatever you'd like and have it sent to you by later today or tomorrow, for that matter. People are coming here to be heard, to be acknowledged, to interact with another human being, to come here with their family and friends and do something silly and fun. So they make it a little bit more memorable than just going out, buying something and either having it delivered or just bringing it home and that type of thing. It's just between the retail, the entertainment, the food, just the interactive of our employees. Honestly, I think that's what brings people out. That's what they're coming here for.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the definition of malls in general has been shifting because of e-commerce. I can buy anything on Amazon in a moment's notice. It's there next day. But like what people are craving now is these experiences, these these experiences or these third spaces where they can go and make a half day out of something, bring their kids, yes, get shopping, but also comment on a guy's shirt, maybe to see something that's cool.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that because I know I got it trained into me, and we do the training here at American Dream. We try not to use the M word. We try to avoid the word mall. We try to refer to ourselves as an ERC, an entertainment retail center.
I love that.
Of course, I always joke around. We have a Spencer's and at least 2 pretzel places. We're a mall. I'm sorry, you're officially a mall. But an entertainment retail center does make it seem like it is more of an experience than just a place to go shopping.
Well, it's a really good point, because is someone going to go for one of those 2 pretzel places? Probably not. But if they go for the entertainment side of things, chances are they will be picking up a pretzel, smell that lovely Cinnabon that they're just going to naturally go and spend, as I always do. Those kind of transactions naturally come from the experiences you are providing to at least get them there.
Most certainly.
So within here, we're talking through the role of the mall or the entertainment destination. It's shifted from transactional to emotional. Why? We touched on it a little bit about e-commerce, but what do you think is driving this change?
I hate to even say it because we definitely were affected by a lot. I think COVID helped out, not helped out, it definitely affected it a lot. It's the fact that people were so cooped up in their houses and weren't allowed to go out. We really saw it. It was a little timid at first, but once people were going like, hey, yeah, I think it's okay that I can go out, they are genuinely coming here in droves. I think it's the idea of being able to pick up a product and ask a question to a human being, to maybe go get like some bubble tea and go ride a roller coaster and then go some shopping. It just, I think people are genuinely craving that interaction with other human beings, and then you follow that up with some really exceptional customer service, and that's what gets people to return. That really that they want to come back and have fun here more often.
Yep. Well, absolutely, and I think like the competition for a consumer's dollar has never been at its highest. I can get something off of Temu, off of Amazon, off of any of these stuff, and it's at that point it's not value as much. It's just like cost comparison and like what is it that I need. Because of that, people are trying to get more for their money, and they're actually willing to use that or their time to go and do things. Like the experiences culture seems to be on an up and up, and people would prefer to do that and spend their time and or money making memories, it sounds like.
A perfect example is I was told about 2 different restaurant or like supermarket type of things that are very interesting. I don't know if you ever, one is the Stu Leonard's. Have you ever been to a Stu Leonard's? And another one near my house is one called Uncle Giuseppe's. I was tuned into. And what's interesting is they're very, very similar. At least the Stu Leonard's reminds me a little bit of an IKEA meets a Chuck E. Cheese that meets a Whole Foods, because you really have to go through it through a specific way. And I see people going with their families and having fun, like sitting there, eating ice cream at the end, hitting the buttons to make the little avocado sing. And people are genuinely having a good time at a supermarket, which is interesting. The Uncle Giuseppe's I mentioned, I had never heard of it myself. It's here in New Jersey. Maybe they're a chain. I don't know. They have a singer walking around on the weekends, like singing Frank Sinatra songs.
That's awesome.
A lot of sampling, of course, which I think is really important. A lot of, either it's product demonstration or sampling really helps you bring out, it really makes the experience more like, oh yeah, I'd like to try that and do a little sampling. And it's these stores that have exceptional customer service combined with a really unique experience is what bringing people out, I believe.
Oh, without question. Then what would you say is actually creating this sense of excitement for shoppers or just people visiting in a physical space or a physical environment?
We get back to one of my personal favorites, is surprise and delight. What I like is that when a store or an experience like American Dream comes up with their own unique kind of like, oh, you know what they do there? Like with this Uncle Giuseppe's, they have the guy wandering around singing. Stu Leonard's has the thing of the animatronics that the kids get touch. Yep. The fun, unique things that you're not going to see anywhere else, I think is what really kind of drives that. For instance, here we have a fun thing. We have these Jeeps, these huge battery operated Jeeps. We have 3 million square feet here at American Dream. So the owners had purchased some Jeeps, and we use them for fun things, VIP experiences. But one of the things that I tried to roll out, which I think is a lot of fun, is almost a little bit of our version of a flash mob where I'll get one of our characters on the back. So whether it's SpongeBob, Elmo, Cookie Monster, I get a speaker in the front. We blast some really music, and we drive around the ERC, the mall, and with Cookie Monster, and really just the looks on people's faces, just like, wait, what's going on? Especially when we get down to like the luxury wing, and you hear a classic Sesame Street song and Cookie Monster throwing out cookies.
He's vibing.
Yes, people are genuinely will remember that and go home and go, "What? You know what happened when I was walking through the mall? A Cookie Monster drove by." What made me think of it was Santa Claus. When I was a kid, Santa would drive through my town on a fire engine, and I used to love that as a kid. It was a great memory. So that's what we do as well here. We put Santa on the Jeep, and we'll zip around the mall and play classic Christmas songs and throw candy canes. It's really, really a lot of fun.
I love that. And that actually brings up a recent memory, now core memory for my kid. Like, we just went to Legoland. Yes, it's different, but at Legoland, we went on the rides. We bought the Legos, probably too much money on Legos. But the thing that my oldest, he's 7, talks about the most was similar to this. A Lego costume guy, mascot, came out in a hot dog suit, randomly was dancing, doing the floss, interacting, taking pictures, and like that core memory, that instant is something he will not stop talking about because it was not planned for. It was like, it excited him. It was a surprise to him, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it, and he does not stop talking about it.
Absolutely. And almost to my point is that was very exclusive to them, like something that they could do that really nobody else can do. I mean, the one thing that we could do here, or one of many things, is these Jeep rides. Like how many people could put SpongeBob on the back of a Jeep and drive through their location? Not too many. And of course, we got to talk about the ones who probably do it some of the best, and is Disney. I mean, Disney have those like magical memories. I was even, my family and I went to the MGM Studios, which is now called the Disney Studios. Matter of fact, that's where I worked when I worked for Disney. I worked at the MGM Studios. I helped open that location. But there's a restaurant in there that's based on almost like you go to your grandmother's house. So it looks like an old house. She'll yell at you if you have your elbows on the table.
As we both do.
Yeah, I had to take mine off when I said it. Or if you had not enough broccoli. But what was cute is we walked in there, my family and I, we were the first ones who ate there for the day. Everybody came out. Everybody came out of the kitchen, and we took a big, huge photo, and they put it up on their refrigerator, just like you would in your grandmother's house. No. And we were considered the family of the day, and they gave us a copy of the picture, which I believe we still have somewhere in the house. And what did it cost them? Nothing, like zero. The cost of printing up a picture, and it's still a memory that I remember like 10, 15 years later.
And this is something I talk about a lot on this channel, is like personalization. And it's always about AI, like data, making personalized ads, personalized to the shopper, et cetera, et cetera. But this is an interesting point of personalization to where the concept of it is repeatable. Like, you can do this 1, 2, 3, but it's personalized to the shopper. Like, only you can do this. Only Disney was able to do this in grandma's house with this picture. And because of that, it sparks this moment of joy and this core memory for years to come.
Absolutely.
So within here, what's the most overlooked moment in a shopper's journey where shopping centers, malls, environments can create delight or create these surprises?
Well, I think just for the average location, man, we're not an average location. We really have a lot of ability to do really some crazy and fun, silly things here. But, I was thinking about that. I would say it's something as simple as just a conversation, like really stopping and talking to the customers, engaging them, especially at the point of sale. Most certainly. I mean, obviously, it's always helpful to walk them through their, the shopping process, but really at the point of sale, just having a conversation with them, even if it's not about the product, whether it's with something that they're wearing or even complimenting them on what they chose, talking to their kids, honestly, especially if they have children, focusing on just their children and making them feel special, and not really talking down to them, but just talking to them. Even if it's something as simple as just the weather or, what's going on in sports or this and that. And again, with the kids, even having something silly at the register, whether it's a sticker, a little fun toy, something that they'll walk away and go, oh, you know what, that was so thoughtful. Like, it's something so out of the ordinary. But again, it's something that each individual store or location can kind of do on their own.
Yep.
I would say that, something that Hermes is going to do is not something that Toys R Us is
Sure.
going to do to make it memorable for that customer. I hope that answers the question.
Oh, absolutely. And so we go to a pizza spot. It's a little bit further than the one close to our house. Is it the best pizza? No, it's cheap. It's good. We get it every Friday. The reason why we go to this pizza shop is the cashier, whenever I bring my kids, they get a little chocolate, like something grandma and grandpa would give, just this tiny thing. And they're addicted to this this gift, this token of chocolate, to where now they always want to go with us to pick up this. This is creating a routine for us. And it's this small gesture of oh yeah, kid, here's a piece of chocolate, that's created this momentum and for us to consistently go back to this place.
Sure. I also use the example a lot of times is where I go to get my haircut. Like I used to live in Manhattan for many, many years. Not that it's all that great of a haircut, but I lived in Manhattan for over a decade. And now I live in Jersey, married and kids, and really don't work in New York City, don't live there. But I go back at least once every couple of months for that haircut because of Alberto, the guy who cuts my hair. And it's not that great of a hair. And I go all the way downtown to 8th Street in NYU. I go out of my way just to say, hey, and to have him, hi, Anthony, good to see you. We catch up, we talk. And it's more the experience and his customer service than it is the haircut. And in fact, he's the one barber in the place that always has a line, that always has reservations, because he's that personable. And you remember him, and he's the only reason I will go back. Otherwise, once he retires, I'm going to find one a block away. That's for sure. I'm not going back to that place. But it's Alberto I go back for. It's that personal interaction. I mean, I'm still paying him for a service. He's not like my good friend. We don't go hang out for drinks. I only see him when I get a haircut. But I genuinely enjoy his company during that time because he knows me and he treats me like a friend while he's giving me a haircut. It's great.
Well, your hair is looking sharp. I love it. He does a great job. Give him my number because I want to try him out. I'll fly my way to New York from Toronto.
It's not worth that kind of money.
So then do you think that a single memorable moment can outweigh multiple average visits in terms of how to position certain things?
You're saying, so if one, I'm sorry, as far as you're saying one really memorable moment, no. I think, unfortunately, you kind of have to keep it really consistent. I think a really memorable moment could sort of help out for some past lame or just kind of mundane experiences, and might help them develop a little bit more of a connection. But no, I don't think it's going to make up for, or the other way around. I think you have to keep it consistent. I think if you're going to do something as silly as the little piece of chocolate or whatever it is, you got to make sure, because if you imagine the disappointment the next time you go there and they don't have those chocolates.
Oh, there'd be so many tears.
I agree. So they got to have those chocolates on a regular basis. They better have those chocolates. So that's what I mean. Even if it's something as simple as that, I think you have to maintain it. But it could help. But no, unfortunately, you got to keep it up.
Yep. And I would tend to agree with that. It's the consistency. It's the expectation of people visiting your venue and knowing what they are going to receive, whether it's experience or whether it's just day-to-day mundane. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the kind of things of what they're expecting and then surprising and delighting them by showing them. So every so often be like, what we're doing today is this. We're doing a weird little taste, or everybody gets a complimentary blah, 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 doing what you normally do. And then from time to time, doesn't need to be every day and every week, but you surprise and delight them with something that it really is like a memory.
Without question. And it is special. How do you think that malls or retail should balance the retail aspect of it, so the shops, entertainment, dining, community experience, all these things? It's a delicate balancing act. How should they think about it, though?
I tell you what, they should come over here to American Dream and check us out. I think we're balancing it pretty well. It's pretty impressive when I see on a regular basis the amount of experiences and restaurants and stores that are just continually opening on a regular basis.
Yep.
I would not be the right one to tell you the right mix. I'd say
Sure.
I would imagine you need more retail than other things, but people are coming here for the experiences. I mean, that I know, and I think food just naturally just happens. People have to eat and want to have something to drink from time to time. It's funny. I might be the wrong one to talk about with
Sure.
retail, because it's funny. Retail, I couldn't wait to get out of selling people things. As far as I'm concerned, especially my age, nobody needs. I mean, you really don't need all these things. But memories, I was all for. People want to plunk down a couple $100 on an experience and a memory. I'm your guy. But I find it difficult to sell people stuff anymore. But that's just me.
Yeah, as I get older, it's like I'd much rather spend my money on doing something with my kids. The one Warhammer I'll do, Labubu's I'll do, but like everything else, I find more value in my money going to these experiences, these memories, being able to do things as opposed to just like more stuff. As you can tell, I have a lot of stuff. I don't need more
Agreed.
stuff.
A ditto. I was a big Simpson collector, and I look at all the stuff I have. I'm like, what am I doing with this? You almost want to shake your head, but I know it brings people real joy, though, too.
It does.
When they find an item and they bring it home, and I know that there's excitement. And I've absolutely experienced that in myself in the past, but I just had to decide it's sort of in my journey what I was going to do, and I feel a lot better selling people an experience than something to just take home. Like I look back at gifts, like when people say, like I remember going to a baseball game with my uncle, but I couldn't tell you a toy that he gave me, or like, oh, he gave me this. But I remember going to a Yankee game with him. So to me, that's just it's more important to me, I think, in the long run.
And it's longer lasting. Like physical items, they'll be forgotten, they'll break, whatever. The core memory, like that's with you forever. You're able to connect with someone, do something with someone, and just like hold on to that forever.
Sure. That being said, retail is the main reason you would have a wall. So I mean, we're not besmirching retail, folks. Okay, relax.
Not at all. Just add it in, sprinkle it in.
Yeah, of course, it's probably the main point. I would almost, to the original point, I would say you'd probably want more retail than anything else, and that's what people are really coming here for. They want to shop, but having an ample amount of entertainment and food and things like that, and then just surprises, things that people wouldn't expect.
I definitely would agree. So this could be a tough question, but I think I do want to talk about it. This excitement, these experiences are difficult to measure because they're often intangible of like, what is the outcome? What is it doing? How do you think it should be measured? Or like, do you measure it?
Yeah, I mean, look, as simple as a smile, like a genuine smile and a laugh from people. I would qualify that as evidence that it works. Also, comments. We get many guest comments. Sure, you get quite a few negative, but when you hear a legit, good comment from a guest, review with the name of someone who did this and they did that for my child, or they did this for us and helped us find our car and went out of their way. I mean, nothing makes you feel better than when you hear yourself get one, or even even better, one of your employees. But I think all in all, it all comes down to is repeat business. Will they come back? Our motto here at American Dream is we have a thing called foundations training, which is we train all of our employees, existing and new, just the foundation of our guest experience. Like from everybody who works back a house to somebody who is a registered person or somebody cleaning the place. This is how we're treating our guests, is we want to give them a reason to return. So if you could give that guest one reason to return, going, oh, they have this great pizza place. Oh, this one security guard was so friendly to my child and helped them find a lost toy, whatever it was. The place is so clean. Oh my God, the bathrooms, I couldn't believe how clean they were. We should go back there, blah, blah, blah. Anything, just give them a reason to return.
I love that. Repeat visits, dwell time. So one of my last questions, and the shirt example is a great one, but I want to push for another. What's an example of a simple idea that creates like outsized excitement?
Okay. I think I got a good one. I think I will end on this one. Actually, is one of my favorites. I'm really kind of proud of this one. So at one point I realized we're here in American Dream. We have Nickelodeon, we have DreamWorks, we have Angry Birds, and they all have characters, like costume characters, which are fantastic. Our entertainment here is really incredible. So I started thinking like, oh, would it be fun? Then I'm like looking around going, wait a minute. Dunkin' Donuts has got a coffee cup, and Big Snow's got a Yeti, and I'm like, let's have a parade. So literally, we have a character parade at least once a month, where it's all of our. It's called the Characters of the Dream Parade, and it started as such a simple thing. I was standing there looking around, going, "Wait, they have a." And then I started walking around, going, "Wait, I didn't know these guys had a character up in the restaurant." Mr. Beast had a character. So literally, once a month, we will have a fun Characters of the Dream Parade, which is a really fun surprise and delight. We have the Jeep. We have surprising, we're throwing candy. People love it, and it's such a nice surprise. Sometimes we promote it, sometimes we don't, but to me it was such a silly fun, like, hey, what if that now we do it once a month, and we even have reached out to high schools and college bands and have large bands going down the hallway. It's really, really, really a lot of fun, and it's so nice that it just came from a what if type of idea.
That's so fun. I love that. And it's come from obviously just a thought, but also there's no incentive. Like, you're not promoting certain brands over others. It's just like, this is genuine fun. If we were to do this, we should do this. And I think that's special.
Oh, well, thank you. It is, and people genuinely have a lot of fun. And we'll get people we always have a family of the day, so they get to ride in the Jeep and invite kids to march in the parade as well. It's really something special. We may try to define it a little bit in the future of maybe having just a Sesame Street parade or just a Nickelodeon parade. But right now, it's kind of nice that it's, especially when you see Jeffrey the giraffe standing next to, the polar bear from Coca-Cola. You're like, what's going on?
The randomness is even better.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of, like, what was that movie back in the old, like Wreck-It Ralph? You see all these people, or like Roger Rabbit. You're like, what are all these characters next to each other? But it's really a lot of fun. So I hope that I thought that was kind of a good answer.
I absolutely love it. And I will say thank you for taking the time. It's been absolutely fantastic. I want to get wherever the shop is you get your shirts at, because I will be picking up some of my own. I'll pick up my Nickelodeon tickets too. I appreciate the time, man. Anthony, you are the best.
Oh, my pleasure. Please let me know next time you're visiting American Dream. We'll show you around and give you a nice VIP tour.
End of June, I'm going to see some others, so I will definitely be hitting you up with that.
Well, FYI, the World Cup is right around that time too, so you may want to rethink some of your schedule. If they weren't paying me, I wouldn't be here.
Well, you're gonna have fun with that. Don't be worried.
There you go. Get right here. There you go.
I'll be sure. Perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Speaking with you.
Mall Talkers, thank you as always. See you next time.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.